long time. That's been 10 years since we've last faced off with Fiji, and it doesn't help me. I've never played Fiji before in a game either, and so I have no idea how they're actually really going to play and how they're going to react to how we play. Minute here of the quarterfinal. Oh, it's a knock on, and that is game there for Fiji. All Blacks will continue on. Game over.
Have done it.
And the All Blacks will sail through to the semi-finals.
Absolutely elated.
And I think after that game with Ireland and Tonga, it sort of set the bar there for the rest of the World Cup. Ready to play here, boys? Let's go.
Kick and chase.
Chipping it over. Kenneth Clark.
Kick and chase.
Can stop it. Organise
The Wales do have it in. They play the ball on the outside. Houston blood. And you can't stop them from their way out. And it's try time here. Wales on the board.
Unleashes a big punt.
I don't know if I want to kick to him, actually. It's Daniel Gunn.
With the loose ball.
And I'm here.
The chaser is coming forward onto this.
I'm in the open. I'm in the open. Oh, it's all opened up. Where are they? What happened to the defense there, coach? It is try time.
Never gonna try will that be. What a finish.
Pure entertainment.
Ball away. Houston blood. Streaming down left-hand side. Trying to put out the fend. And he's tracked down.
Yeah, that's a
but it's a knock-on by Argentina. And referee playing advantage.
And they'll
get forced back down their end of the field here.
So they'll have a line out.
Playing it too close there to the short side. They've got to get out of the advantage zone.
The halfback.
They have to exit the zone. And what a ball!
Makes a good
Santiago Cordero.
They might still
streaming down, and he should have kicked it downfield. A lot of ground here to make up Ramiro Patano. Short side, and wow, what just attacking plays there by Argentina, but they're in over the ball, Wales, and they will play it here, and it's a knock-on over the line.
Justin.
And you should say there might just be full time there. He will blow the whistle, and he does blow the whistle, and Wales will go through to the final.
A good contest between these teams. Both teams
and heartbreak for Los Pumas.
There could only be one winner. There were quite a number of kicks made in this match. It was a real old-fashioned kicking battle.
And they worked so hard towards the end there to get back into it. But Wales' relentless defense kept them down. Alright, kia ora, tēnā koutou, and welcome back to another video. I'm Hotstop Kid, and if you just joined, welcome. If you've been following the series, welcome back. Glad to have you join me here as always. And as always, thank you to those over on Patreon supporting the videos, as well as those who have donated towards the channel, and those who have recently subscribed to the YouTube channel. So I appreciate you, appreciate the support, as we're about to get into it here. Well, it's exciting times on the channel. We're heading into Rugby World Cup finals, and we got the bronze final between Ireland and Argentina, and then we've got the ultimate final there on the big stage, the All Blacks taking on Wales. Well, a lot of things to cover here in this one, but the ultimate sort of topic here is the All Blacks and Wales final. I don't think anybody was predicting that. I didn't predict it. I don't know if you guys remember, I made a video of my predictions, who I thought were going to make it through to the quarterfinals. About 2 weeks ago I made the video, and well, if you haven't seen that, here's a little recap on my thoughts of the final. So let's check it out. Well, a few things I need to finish off as well to talk about. Just one of the final things here, predictions, and you guys can also get in your predictions as well, who you think you're going to go through the quarterfinals, semifinals, and then bronze in the final match. So I'm going to make my predictions here right now. And the first game here, New Zealand, Fiji, obviously has to be New Zealand. We're going to go through. I have to believe that. So Fiji gets knocked out. New Zealand All Blacks would go through. Second match, Argentina taking on Tonga. And I think Argentina is just going to be too much for Tonga on the day Argentina goes through. I mean, you got Santiago Cordero, Ramiro Badano playing really, really well there. Landajo, the captain. And so I just think they're going to overshadow. Who's the center? Santiago Chocobatis. Awesome player. So Argentina will go through. Second game, sorry to Tonga. And a third game, Wales and Australia. That'll be a good game. That'll be a tight contest. I think Australia just has the manpower and the engine to get over Wales there. I think Wales just a bit short on their manpower there. I think Houston Blood on the left-hand wing's dangerous. Obviously, Liam Williams as well is there. Leonard is there at the number 10 as well. So they've got dangerous players. I just think Australia just has one up over Wales. So Australia third, and then Ireland, Samoa. Well, Ireland number one for a reason. Samoa just scraped in. Ireland playing out of their minds. I'll have to say Ireland goes through. And so it's New Zealand, Argentina, Australia, Ireland. Head into your semi-finals. It's going to be New Zealand versus Argentina. We get over Argentina and head into the finals. Ireland and Australia in the semi-final. Ireland takes it number one. Best team in the world. They take it over Australia. It's going to be a New Zealand and Ireland final. And, well, the best team on the day that will take the gold, their country ends with land. And we'll wait till a final, or if we even get there, to see which one will take the gold. But that's my predictions. Obviously, I'm thinking All Blacks are going to take it all. And it's going to be a New Zealand-Ireland final. Should be an exciting one, hopefully. Yep, well, I get it wrong straight out of the gates. They're in the quarterfinals. Wales topple the Wallabies. So I made the predictions purely based on what I think majority of people are going to go with. We have a pretty good indication of how they can play. I mean, we played the Wallabies in the Rugby Championship this year, just before the World Cup. We played them last year. We played them in the pool groups of this World Cup. So we had a pretty good idea on going in. And, well, just a surprise to see Wales topple the Wallabies like that. And, well, it's no disrespect to Wales. It's just that this is the only time, really, that we get to see international teams. We can't see them before the World Cups. This is the only time we've analysed sort of the teams in the World Cup. So we're just going off based on that information alone. But Wales is a good team, and they're proving that. And they deserve to be in the final. And well, Wales coming into the final as the clear underdogs, and who doesn't love a good underdog? I mean, they've proven themselves. They beat Argentina on their home ground, which is no easy feat. We're faced off against the Argentine back in their home ground there, Estadio Buenos Aires, and it's not easy there. And so, yeah, that just shows once again how good Wales can be. I mean, they put on the points early against the Argentine. They defend their line. They keep you down your half and even inside your 22 there for a while. And so it just proves how good Wales can be. I mean, they have a good set line. Their starting lineup is solid. I think they have a very good, solid 23 as well. We haven't seen much of their subs going on and off. So, not seeing their subs is probably an indication of how fit the Welsh team is. And that's something that we sort of have to look at for the All Blacks. But, yeah, completely under the radar here for this one. Wales. It's just unfortunate. I've just seen some of the news here just after the Argentine game. And some of the injuries, they've actually suffered a major injury there in the back line for Wales. Liam Williams won't be in the final. He's gone down with an injury. He's going to be out for the next 3 months. I'm not sure exactly what's gone on or what's happened. They got another injury, and George Knott in the forward pack as well. George Knott. So major blows there for Wales as we get into the final. And it's you got to feel for Liam Williams, because he worked so well up until this point to the final, only to miss out because of an injury. And I've already seen the covering player. It's a new guy, very green-faced. He's going to be a rookie coming onto the wing. Who they're going to play. So I think they got a backline switch out. Houston Blood is going to switch out from the left-hand side wing to the 14. I think he's going to go on the right side, and the rookie is going to go on the left-hand side. And so that's unfortunate news to hear for Liam Williams. That's tough, especially if you're a Welsh fan and you're hearing this. It's tough. So that can damper your spirit there if you're a Welsh fan, obviously going into this one. So you're going to need all the firepower you can get, and it's, missing key players like Liam Williams is just it's going to be tough. Not impossible, but it's now just become a bit tough there on the wider channels that you're so used to seeing. Fitness levels, though, I think is a little bit of a concern. I've noticed that we are replacing players really early in the games here. I think even just before halftime, we're replacing players. And if we're replacing players early, that means we have an issue with fitness here, the All Blacks. So I think we have to be able to manage that on game day. I'm not sure how to go about that just yet, but probably a little bit worried. I'm not so worried about it. I mean, Wales, they look pretty fit. I don't see them taking as many subs as we do. So it may just come down to like tackles or things like that. I'm not entirely sure. So we have to figure that out as we go along here, the All Blacks. Moving along in the segment here, and I'm only 1/4 of down through my notes already, so hopefully I haven't been talking for too long. But we move into a question here: who comes into the final in a better space? Who comes into the final in a better space? And what I mean by that is just the confidence in your team. Who comes in with confidence? And I'm going to start with the All Blacks, because I think the All Blacks has had one of the... Actually, I don't even think. I know the All Blacks has had the toughest running in the World Cup of all other teams. You start with the pool group there, and we've given it the name, the Pool of Death. Our second game clash against England, tough side, very good side there. Owen Farrell leads the team around really well on the field. We topple England, we take the game, we move on. Next game against Springboks there. Same year, this year, Springboks beat us in the Rugby Championship, and then we toppled them here in the World Cup. So they're still a tough team, even though we did get the win. Our next match there was against the Wallabies in Hamilton, in a home crowd. It was a great game. If you haven't seen that one, go back, watch that one. We just take it. It was at the end of the game, full time, who'd have gone, and we take that just with the drop kick. So we win that game. We move on into the quarterfinals. First quarterfinal there, Fiji. And Fiji, arguably one of the strongest attacking teams in rugby in the World Cup here. So it's going to be a tough matchup. We take it pretty convincingly. We're happy with that. We move on. Game against Ireland, and that's not a easy game as well. And we topple the Irish to move on to the final. And those teams are arguably some of your top teams in the league of all the Rugby World Cup here. And I just don't think Wales has gone through or experienced anything like that. Obviously, they played against Argentina and the Wallabies. I think the Wallabies would have been a more tougher game. Argentina played a really good game against them, though. But they haven't faced the same adversity as the All Blacks, and I just think the All Blacks has to come into this one with high confidence. I mean, the game system has a confidence built in. I think for the All Blacks, it's got I think it says 70% confidence rate. But I think with the All Blacks, I think it should be a bit higher than that. At least 80 to 90% confidence going into the match against Wales. I'm not trying to underestimate Wales at all. Anything can happen on any given day. I've said it before. Rugby is a funny game. But Wales just hasn't gone through anything like that. But then it's going to be interesting to see where Wales sits in terms of their confidence, because of the way the game system is in the Rugby Challenge, you can see their confidence. I think they have the same confidence levels as the All Blacks, which is fine. I think you have to be able to back yourself when it comes to finals rugby here. You got to believe that you'll be able to take it, and Wales is coming in to be able to think that, and that's good. But just continuing on with our talk about confidence, and I'm going to use the All Blacks and Ireland game as an example. There was a comment in the comment section that said it looks easy, but it's not easy, and that's so true. The only thing that sort of I don't have confidence about is probably our fitness, our fatigue, and how I sort of calculate that is that we're making substitutions in the first half. We're making substitutions pretty early. I noticed that even Wales doesn't sub out until maybe 15 minutes before full time. And that just goes to show how fit Wales are. So that's probably on the lowest scale in terms of confidence here for the All Blacks. But I mean, we got the players who come off the bench. David Harvey has been excellent for us. I mean, we've got the players to utilize, the whole 23 here. So we can't back ourselves here, the All Blacks. And from a Wales point of view, I mean, they love the kicking game. They like to put you down in your corner. They like to keep you down in your 22. They like to play on the wider channels and keep running the ball. They're huge on defense. And so we also have a question to ask ourselves. What is Wales going to bring on game day? And ultimately, because they're sort of a team that's unpredictable, we don't really know. And teams that are unpredictable can be very dangerous teams, because if you don't know your opponent, then it's going to be very hard to sort of nullify what they can do. Now, speaking of unpredictability, the officiating from the referees in this game has been awesome. They've been excellent. But, and there's a big but, there have been questionable calls. There have been questionable calls, not often, but there have been some pretty bad calls. I go back to, and I know I mentioned, I don't want to harp on this anymore, but it sort of needs to be said. We talked about the game against the Wallabies there. They got the kick wrong. It was a kick into touch. The Wallabies, though, the referee missed it. They come back. He calls it wrong. He says it's gone out in the full. When it bounced out over the line, he brings it back. Wallabies get a kick into the touch, get the line out, scores. Was it a line out or a scrum? Can't remember. But off that, the Wallabies score a try, and they almost win the game. And that's what we don't want. We don't want that kind of unpredictability from the officials. The officials have been great, though. Referees have been excellent. It's just those sort of calls that can obviously damper some of your confidence. But in saying that, it's pretty realistic, because referees don't always get it right. They always don't. They don't make right calls all the time. I mean, they make mistakes, but it's just sort of those things. And then the All Blacks, or any team, we just got to be able to, what do they say, adapt to the situation there, and just keep playing the game that we play. So yeah, just looking at it that way, I don't think I'll be able to say that, because it is the AI controlling the game, but then again, it is bugs. Yeah, if something can damper confidence, it's going to be the officiating, and just bad calls in general. But anyway, moving on. Next question and it's a very important question as well. How do the All Blacks stop giving away costly turnovers? Stop giving away costly turnovers, and that's a question that pointing the finger at me. And I thought it'd be interesting to sort of talk about it. We played against Ireland. Obviously, it happened against Ireland. If you haven't seen that game, go back and watch it. You'll see it. My pass there, we're back inside the 22. It was a kick downfield. I can't remember who kicked it. Geordie Barrett gets the ball as fullback. I call for it. I get the ball. I get shot in a tackle. I panic, offload. The pass doesn't come off. It rolls on the ground. It gets picked up by, I think it was Leighton Keefe, the captain, and scores a try. And then not long after that, Adi Savia does the same thing. His ball gets intercepted though. Mine didn't, his does. And then they end up scoring another try off a costly mistake. So how can the All Blacks stop doing that? Well, that's a good question. Well, I got a pretty basic answer for that question. And I don't know, people will agree with this or not. But if you're a coach of a team and two of your players throwing passes, having intercepts, causing the opposition to get intercepts and score tries against you with silly passes, as a coach, you probably go up to them and just give them a little wee tap on the shoulder as it goes, and let them know, hey mate, what you did out there, if you continue to play like that, we're going to take that jersey off you and give it to someone else. If you don't cut that out, we're taking you off the team. Well, it can be as simple as that. I might be exaggerating a little bit, it might be over dramatic, but I would say some people have got some stories about that. Maybe they've gone through that before. But I genuinely, in the game, I thought that I was going to get subbed out after that one. When I threw the ball, it got picked up, scored the try there, Ireland. I genuinely thought after the kick was slotted there by Jason Stringer, I was going to get subbed out. It's happened before. I've been subbed out before. And I just thought, oh man, I'm going to get subbed out. Beauden Barrett's going to jump on. He's going to finish the game. And deservedly so. I mean, I was in trouble. Thankfully, it didn't happen that way. I ended up finishing the game. And then not so long after that, my mistake, Adi Savia throws the intercept. And I'm thinking, oh, well, he's got it worse. He threw worse than I did. His one got an intercept, but mine didn't. But thankfully, with the results, we're able to get the win. I think it would have been a different scenario had we lost the game on the back end of the mistakes that we did. But yeah, just thankful for the win. Fortunate for us. But just going into how to avoid those situations, I just think that we have to just keep calm, have maybe a more solid foundation of what we want to play, how we want to play on the field, not rush our game, set up properly. Set myself up for kicks maybe a bit better than that. If we're in the backfield and I know Geordie's got the ball, maybe let him play the ball and I set up in the back to try to get a kick downfield and just try to play a bit smarter and a bit better rugby football. Moving on though, next question, and it's a good question as well. What game plan will win the Rugby World Cup? What game plan? And this is something that I think for us, for the All Blacks, we have to digest on, because it's one of those things where Wales is playing unpredictable rugby. We can't really understand what they do. Obviously we don't know their game plan. But we sort of have to go about what we know and what we can do here. We know Wales likes to play the fast game, especially at the beginning of the games. In the first maybe 5-10 minutes, they like to really pour the pressure on early, get the kick downfield, put you under pressure inside your 22, turn your ball over, and then score tries at the back of your mistakes. So that's one thing I've noticed about the way they play. that's a gameplay that's a game plan that can win you games. Clearly, they've won their games on the back of it. They showed that against Argentina. You haven't seen that game, make sure you go watch that one. It's a perfect example of putting the pressure on and using your expansive plays, but also kicking downfield and using your defensive lines, which Wales has a very good defensive pack. And so it's going to be interesting there come game day against Wales. So I think for the All Blacks, we just need to make sure we start really well and just get the momentum early, because we know that's how Wales wants to play. I mean, that's sort of how we want to play. We haven't really started games very well. I think the game against Ireland was one of the games we started really well in. Fiji, I think, too. But we're not very good when it comes to starting games here, the All Blacks. We're good at finishing games and maybe in the middle, but starting is just one of our weak points for some reason. I just don't know why that is, but we'll have to figure out something here, the All Blacks. So interesting contrast in terms of styles here, Wales and the All Blacks, and so that makes for an interesting final. Yeah, just getting our starting right, get the momentum downfield, keep it upbeat, keep it the way we play the expansive game, get our kicks right in the corners, get into touch, use the wide channels, ball out to our wingers, and use the space, score points from it. And I think we can utilize now that Liam Williams, unfortunately, has gone down with injury. They did bring on a rookie to replace him. Well, they have brought on a rookie on the wing, but the rookie's going to be on the left-hand side wing, and Houston Blood, who usually plays on the left, has been switched out to the right side where Liam Williams is. So we're looking to maybe exploit their left-hand side channel there, where they're probably the weakest at this point, Wales, and see what we can do here. See how the rookie reacts to how we play on that short side on the wide channels, and see what we can do there. But yeah, just it's going to come down to skill, obviously execution, and just finishing off your plays. Get the momentum over the ball, try to keep the phases on. We don't really do good in terms of keeping the ball here, the All Blacks, and trying to keep the phases going. Hopefully we can do that against Wales, but it's going to be a very good game. And wow, just looking at what Wales can bring into the game, I mean, they can bring the physicality. The defensive lines is where I think they're going to really try to hammer down on the All Blacks. I think if they can keep us out, their goal maybe is to keep us out from getting our tries, and then maybe they can work off the back of mistakes. That's what I'm sort of thinking Wales is going to go about in terms of their plan. Probably looking to slow the game down for themselves as well. Look to their kicks. They have a very good kicking game as well. Get inside the 22, get the line out, score tries off rolling maul, scrums, usually off mistakes though. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. They're good at their lineouts, they're good in the scrums, and they're good in territory, which is very vital when it comes to winning games. But I think what the All Blacks need is we just need a smart kicking game. I think we have that. We just need to better utilize that, a smart kicking game against Wales on game day, and maybe try to lure their fullback forward a little bit so that he wants to play a more forward game rather than sitting in the back end waiting for kicks, so that we can use the wider channels to get on the outside of the fullback. And moving into our next question here, we're almost done, and I don't want to talk for, hopefully I didn't talk for too long. I'll try to keep the videos around 15 to 20 minutes when I'm talking. I'm not much of a talker, by the way. I don't genuinely like to do this. I'm more of a gamer. I'm just a gamer. I just like to play games. I'm not much of a talker, not much of an analyst. That's sort of not my thing, but this has to go hand in hand with the gameplay, because you guys, especially for those who are not sure what's going on or not sure what's been happening, that's why I make these videos, these Let's Talk videos, for those people. So next question though, moving along, what makes Wales such a good team? Again, I think this is an excellent question. What makes Wales such a good team? I think I've highlighted a lot of what I think this team is capable of. I think one of their main aspects and one of their bread and butter is defense. I think Wales has one of the most devastating defensive lines in the game. They got the big players to be able to do that. Your forwards, your backs are swift and strong as well over the ball. I mean, basically anybody in the team can steal it. And then they just wait for you to make mistakes and errors, and then they pounce on those opportunities and then get their points, whether it be from the boot, going for a penalty kick, or on the wide channels, switching it out to their wings and scoring tries off you, or breaking it through the middle. Wales is a very, very underestimated and an underdog in this one, and a very good team, and they can definitely snatch it away. If people don't think otherwise, if people think otherwise, I mean, this team is a very good Welsh team going into the final. But yeah, just their defensive lines. Houston Blood, very dangerous on the wider channels. We've seen him go through. How good has he been for this Welsh side? Excellent key player. Walter Leonard there, driving the team around the field. Excellent ball kicker as well. Very talented players. And speaking of which, kicking the ball, running game, very good. I'm very impressed. So for them, I think it's just their DNA. It's just to be able to play those sort of games, their kicks, their rucks, their quick ball, their wider channels, and stick to that. I think that's what makes them such a good team, such a dangerous team going into the final. But Wales is definitely going into this one as the underdogs. And I think if you're a Welsh fan and you're watching this, you're loving it. I think you're loving to be the underdog in this one. And now that I've talked a lot about Wales, you probably have the bit of confidence to say, hey, we can snatch this one. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, that rugby is a funny game. I think I said it twice in the segment, but anybody can win. Anybody can take it. I'm not going to take away. If you deserve the win, you deserve the win. I'm not going to take it away from it. If I lose the game, I'm going to be upset. But if you deserve that, it's you deserve the win. And we're going to move on once again in the segment with the next question. Good question. Is this the birth of a new rivalry? Wales and New Zealand. We didn't have this real big rivalry between these two nations, really. I mean, I haven't really dove into the history behind Wales and New Zealand. I know there should be a rich history there. I'm just not familiar with it. But is this sort of a new rivalry concerning the channel's sake, between Wales and New Zealand? Are we going to see this in maybe future content or future World Cups? We'll look at the next World Cup. When is that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2027, next World Cup. Is this Wales, New Zealand? Wales, New Zealand, is that going to be a thing that continues on? Are we going to have some series against them? Hopefully, that's a different discussion, I think, putting series together in the next couple of years against Wales. But something to look at in the future anyway. Now that leaves us with our last and final question, and probably most important question this evening, is who will win the Rugby World Cup? And I'll leave that question up to you guys. Probably put a poll in the community section, chat section a little bit later on for you guys to sort of vote. But for me, I'm going to answer 100%. I have to believe, without a doubt, my All Blacks will have to take the title. We haven't touched it since 2015. It'd be good to put our hands back on it. Or can Wales cause a major upset in world rugby history and snatch it away and win it for themselves, their first title here on the channel? So will it be New Zealand All Blacks or Wales? It's going to be a tight contest. Should be good. I'm excited. I'm pumped for it. I'm nervous. And should be a good one. I can't wait for it. But just before we do head into the final, we do have the bronze face-off final between Ireland and Argentina. That's going to be a tight contest there for third place, and we'll have that game, and then after that will be the final. But before I wrap up the video here, let's just go over some of the analytics and some minor changes, not so much. I mean, for the watch time, for subscribers, those who have subscribed to the channel and watch the videos, 10% of you guys are subscribed. 87% of you have not yet subscribed but are watching the videos back. So why aren't you clicking the button? It's free, it doesn't cost you anything. You're watching the videos back anyway. It just helps the channel a lot if you can just click that free subscribe button, and I appreciate it. And then moving on, for the subscribers who have subscribed and turned on their notifications bell, 13.8% of you guys, that's 455 of you guys, have turned on your notifications here on the channel. You want to stay tuned, you're showing your support, so I appreciate you for that. Top geographies, top countries here, leading the way, still in front by 6%. It is New Zealand, and we're heading into the back end of the competition now. New Zealand still leading there. South Africa's sort of been back and forth there. They've worked it up to 20% though, and it's still a bit of a battle. I think more of my Kiwis have sort of jumped in on the videos here, took it up to 26.9%. So appreciate my Kiwis and my South Africans who are supporting the channel as well. Appreciate you guys. Some notable countries as well: United Kingdom, England, is also supporting the channels there. Below England is Australia, and then after Australia is United States. So that's the top 5 countries there. So I appreciate you guys for watching in, tuning in, and that's all about it. That's all that I have to say about that. All I can say now is bring on the World Cup final. Before I actually end the video and close it off for the night, I just want to give my predictions on the bronze final there in the Rugby World Cup. Ireland taking on Argentina, and I think if I speak from my heart, Argentina is going to take it. But if I speak with my head, and I'm thinking with my head, who I think is going to take it, clearing my throat. That's how I know I've been talking for too long, because now my throat's sort of drying up. But if I was to say with my head, Ireland's going to take it. Yeah, but I don't want to sit on the fence for that one. I think Argentina's going to be up by 5. They'll take the game. So game will belong to Argentina there, and they will take the bronze and take up the 3rd position there. So that's my predictions. You guys can share yours, and I'll see you guys in their game. Ireland and Argentina up next for the bronze. And then after the bronze final, we go into the World Cup final there. The All Blacks taking on Wales. It should be a good one. Can't wait for it. And if you haven't already signed up to Patreon, you can watch all the full games there available there for you and for the members. And appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for being here. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I'll see you guys in the bronze final and then the Rugby World Cup final. See you there.